गुड इवनिंग एंड अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू द ब्लैक होल। आज का मौजू आप पीछे बोर्ड पे लिखा हुआ देख सकते हैं, प्रोजेक्ट लीडरशिप गाइडिंग टीम्स टू सक्सेस। सो टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न अबाउट effective project leadership, and we will discover how leaders motivate and empower their teams to achieve desired results या जो success है। We will discuss the crucial role of leadership in project management, exploring the key qualities, skills, and practices that set successful leaders apart. Moreover, we will examine various leadership styles, discussing their strengths and weaknesses, and provide practical insights on how to adopt your approach to meet the unique needs of your team and project. और इस मौजू पर इज़हार ख्याल करेंगे शाहिद सुमरो साहब, जो मेरे दाएं जानिब तशरीफ़ फरमाए। मैं मुख्तसर सा उनका तारुफ करवाता जाऊँ। Shahid Soomro is a career civil servant belonging to the 29th Common of the Inland Revenue Service. He is currently posted at FBR Headquarters as Chief Projects. Shahid Soomro is an Australia Awards and Chevening Scholar, holding a degree in Project Management from RMIT University, जो कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया में है, and a professional certification from University College London. Moreover, he has professional certifications in monitoring and evaluation and regulatory impact assessment from IP3, that is the Institute of Public Private Partnership in Washington DC, United States. अब सब लोगों की आमद का शुक्रिया। हस्बे मामूल बस एक ही दरख्वास्त कि अपने सेल फोन जो है प्लीज़ आप साइलेंट मोड में कर लें, so that there is no distraction. गुफ्तगू जब ओपन हो for Q&A and discussion, आप उसमें ज़रूर शरीक होइएगा। Just raise your hand first so that this microphone is given to you. And that's it. Please welcome Shahid Soomro. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nair Saab. It has always been great to be here, and thank you very much, guys. Such a lovely audience. And today's topic is bit on the lighter side, not unlike that we discussed last time. So, without wasting your time, can I request you please have a presentation? ये लाइट यहाँ की जरा ऑफ कर दीजिएगा. Yes. Okay. So it's a very good topic, and I'm expecting that you guys will have a volley of questions, because it is something that everyone comes apart in today's world. Uh, Leadership is something that everybody is experiencing, even in his own home, because we all are parents. So a parent, a father, mother, they are role model for their children, and likewise, since it is closely related to the leadership. So, but project leadership is something different. The it has been debated over a long time that if we have something, a very thoughtful and an academic discipline in the shape of leadership, so why do we need project leadership which is related to the management? So then the question comes in the mind that what is leadership and what is management? So leadership is something that guides, motivates the team to achieve the success, whereas management is using some skills, some particular skills, and using these skills we can achieve a successful projects. So that's a thin line between management and leadership. So the project management is based on planning. We all know that there is a life cycle of project management that starts from planning, executing, controlling, and then finally completion of the project. Whereas leadership aims at guiding others, as I told you, that it's something that a leader guides people and convinces them to change and induces new ways to manage crisis, to manage change in the project. Next, please. There is a research gap. Unfortunately, you won't find a much material on leadership project leadership, uh, and this is the reason I selected this topic that uh, to discuss with you guys. And leadership, specifically within project teams, however, has not achieved the attention it deserves because the research is going on, and especially when in the recent era when the expansion is so rapid and new concepts are coming up, new technologies are emerging. So in this scenario, the project leadership becomes much more important. From a practitioner perspective, leadership is increasingly recognized as a key skills area necessary for project management. Now explicitly acknowledged within the project management field. And who says that? That's a Project Management Institute in 2000. Project Management Institute uh, releases PMBOK, Project Management Book of Knowledge. It's a Bible of the project management. So I referenced it here. And it is also supported by Jason, South Africa in 2002, Business by Projects at Oslo in Norway. Next, please. Well, leadership styles. What the research says. Daniel Goleman, he is an accomplished researcher in project management, and he has been working on the project management area since 1998. And he did a research on 200 international companies and found that the traditionally believed leadership abilities that were uh, like the hard uh, skills, like the technical skills. But he laid emphasis on the soft skills like the people management. So in this way, the softer image encourage and contribute to successful achievements because uh, strategic management of the projects also suggests that unless you have a good relation with your teams, or uh, you utilize their potential in a way that actually helps you to achieve the completion of project in uh, in time, within budget, and within the scope. Next, please. Okay, come on. So now we will be discussing the leadership styles. There are various leadership styles that have been used by various leaders. Uh, Interestingly, we don't know as a leader that which project style I am using at a given or at a particular time. It is only judged or understood by others that what kind of leadership style I am using at the moment. So the number one is transformational. Transformational leadership is a leadership style in which the leader inspires and motivates his or her followers to achieve exceptional performance by creating a vision, setting high expectations, and challenging the followers to exceed their own self-interest for the benefit of the organization or society at large. And since I have based my lecture on qualitative research. So I have formed my opinion on the basis of experts' opinion, and that's why I have given these references, that so that you can know and understand that it has been well researched topic. So Collins in 2014, he wrote a research article in the Journal of Leadership Studies, Barack Obama, Transformational Leadership in the Obama Presidency. It is appropriate for social development projects. Social development projects, we can say that like a Benazir Income Support Program. It's basically a social development project in which you uplift the status of women beneficiaries. Now they have included certain other areas like Wasila Rozgar, Wasila Talim, and they are giving microfinance. They are also using microfinance to uplift the status of women beneficiaries. And the examples of transformational leadership, they are Nelson Mandela and Barack Obama. What are the characteristics? Transformational leader is basically a visionary. He has something that he sees in the future. He sees where will be my organization or my team after 5 years or 10 years. So he has something in his vision. They are very good communicators. They have the power of eloquence. They know how to motivate others through their power of persuasion. They are brilliant, inspirational and motivational personalities. They are emphatic, and their intellectual stimulation is something that they can turn any weak team in a well-performing unit. So again, that was mentioned by Bass and Rigo in 2006. That was the Transformational Leadership, second edition, Psychology Press, 2006. Next, please. Okay, the transactional. In transactional leadership, basically this is an approach that focuses on the exchange relationship between leaders and followers. Because it allows, such a leader allows his team, his followers, to exchange the ideas, and based on this interaction, they come up with a strategy that actually supports the project. In this leadership style, the leader maintains stability and achieves goals through a system of rewards and punishment. So this is something new, because reward and punishment, sometimes they have motivational impact on the teams and can stimulate and can motivate the teams to achieve the goal in limited resources and in a specific time. This kind of transactional leadership is appropriate for projects with short durations. Short durations, you can say that if there is a construction of building which needs to be completed in 5 months or 6 months, so we can use the system of reward and punishment in order to achieve the goal of completion of project in 5 months. In international scenario, we have Bill Gates and Angela Merkel, the famous German chancellor. These two personalities fit in the transactional leadership style. The characteristics, there are clearly defined goals, because we know that a building is to be completed in 5 months. Define contingent reward. If something achieves that goal, then he will be given 5,000, 10,000, 1 million, something like that. Exchange relationship, as we saw, that such leadership believes in exchange of views between the team and the leader. Monitoring performance. Now, monitoring performance means that if something is going wrong, it has to be fixed. Means there will be some sort of punishment. But if it goes smoothly, then the reward will be the outcome. And who says that? Causes in 2017, the Leadership Challenge 6th edition, Willy 2017, that can be checked. Next, please. Autocratic. That's something we see on daily basis. I think since the new rules and regulations and new directions have been released by the government, so I have restrained myself to give you some international names, not from the Pakistan. So autocratic leadership, also known as authoritarian leadership, is a leadership, some system in which the leader holds absolute power. We have seen in the past that Joseph Stalin, Hitler, they wielded absolute power. And with absolute power, they ruthlessly did the things that were against the humanity. So in this leadership style, we have Hitler and Kim Jong-un from North Korea. So these two people. Well, the characteristics: centralized decision making. There is no feedback from the teams. We don't see any exchange between the leader and the teams. And there is a direct supervision. Limited individual autonomy. Such a leader seldom gives you authority or autonomy to do something by your own in order to improve the project, because you have to rely on the leadership, and all the directions come from the leadership, so that these should be followed for the project. Authoritarian control, and it's a goal oriented. Now, there are certain disadvantages, but there is a advantage. There are certain advantages. We can have clear directions in autocratic leadership, because all the directions come from him. So, and he understands it, and since he is not accountable to anyone, so the directions are always clear. And then this autocratic style is suitable in crisis situations. So let's say if there is a war, if there is a natural calamity, then you need a leader which assumes the responsibility and gives you the direction, and so that things are accomplished in a quick manner. Next, please. Laissez-faire. Laissez-faire means non-intervention. Basically, it's a political philosophy in which it is related to the government, when governments are not supposed to make interference in the affairs of organizations, in people's mandate, or something like that. So laissez-faire leader has a hands-off approach. Okay, this is the project. He appoints a team and then hands over all the authority to the team. They go and complete the project. Minimal involvement, and allows followers to make decisions. Laissez-faire leaders provide little guidance or supervision to their followers. It has its merits and demerits. And then he allows them significant autonomy and freedom to make decisions and perform tasks. Again, this is appropriate for waterfall projects. Waterfall projects is a linear or traditional project management style in which you envisage a project, then you appoint a team, and you ask them to these are the timelines, these are the milestones, and this is how you need to achieve, you need to complete the project. The team doesn't need to go to the leader again and again and ask what is to be done, so that the project can be put on the track. Characteristics: mistakes are normal because since there is no supervision at the top, so the teams are bound to make mistakes. Leader is still accountable. Well, since he is the leader, in the end, if the project suffers from time overrun or cost overrun, it is the leader who will be held accountable. Trust and followers' ability. That's very good that he trusts in the followers' abilities, because he is the one who has selected the team. Indifferent to some extent. Well, since it's a waterfall style of project management, in which the project is handed over to the team of skilled members to complete the project. So we can find that there is a sort of indifferent attitude to the project. Absence of direct control, as we saw that in this style, there is no direct control over the team. It has been mentioned by Sosik et al. 2004. It's a laissez-faire and transformational leadership, learning goal orientation, and expectancy value. Journal of Business and Psychology. That is in 2004. Next, please. Situational. Okay, charismatic. Well, this is very famous style. We see these leaders on daily basis on television screens. We read about them in the newspapers, on the YouTube, everywhere. And this is an approach in which leaders inspire and motivate their followers through their personal charm. I remember Muzammil Shah came here and he told that now the leadership will be emerged on television screens. Whosoever is someone who can be presented on the television screens and he looks good to the audience will naturally and normally gives him that attention. So he will use his personal charm and appeal qualities, vision, and persuasive communication. Charismatic leaders often have a compelling ability which influences, attracts, and mobilizes followers. I have seen two examples, Mr. Martin Luther King and Steve Jobs, that can be called charismatic leaders. And this sort of leadership style is good for social development projects. What are the characteristics? Charismatic presence, visionary, persuasive communication, self-confident, strong motivational impact. And now it's a situational leadership style. Situational leadership is a flexible leadership style that adapts to the specific needs and capabilities of individual followers or groups. Situational leadership style emphasizes the leader's ability to assess the situation and adjust the leadership approach accordingly. Now, that's very important. Situational leadership changes his behavior, his leadership with the situation, with the changing situations. You will find it very rare leadership style that adapts itself to the situation. And the characteristics are he or she can make good assessment of the situation. They are relatively flexible and adaptive, and they can adopt different leadership styles in a given situation, and they are also very self-confident. For reference, it's a Hersey et al. In 2013. The full reference is given here. Next, please. This is my favorite. In fact, I wrote a thesis on servant leadership in my university. So, servant leadership is someone who who gives more importance to the team, to his team, and to his followers, even more than the organizational goals. Because he believes that if my team is happy, they uh, they are confident, they feel secure uh, in the project, they can give you the result. He or she focuses on serving the needs of others and prioritizing the well-being and development of followers. With this approach, leaders aim to support and empower their followers. This is again very good leadership style for social projects. And we have examples Jack Ma, Abdul Sattar Idi, and Mother Teresa. The characteristics are service orientation, empowerment and development of the teams, collaboration and teamwork, and high morality. But again, there are some disadvantages because uh, to some extent, your organizational goals are compromised. Because if you give more attention to your team and sometimes they are not able to give you the desired or required results, then your organization is going to suffer. So this leadership is very good. Now it is being considered in Apple, Google, and Oracle like organizations because they have something which we call empathy. They understand the needs, the 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 requirements of the team, and after fulfilling them, they get the results. Next, please. Pace setting. They in Pakistani scenario, uh, our bureaucracy is considered to be the pace setting. We normally uh, do something to expedite the process of the project, and we bring some out of the box elements in project management in order to achieve the project goals more swiftly. Pace setting leadership is the leadership system in which leaders set high performance standards for themselves and their followers. Now, this is something which needs to be understood, that if someone he is more agile, more energetic, but he is expecting his followers to follow the suit and do exactly what the leader is capable of doing, then you will see that the team and the followers are facing or are undergoing burnout. So that sometimes it creates uh, uh, something. It creates uh, demotivation. It creates uneasiness. Team is uncomfortable because not everyone is good in producing something which is required by the pace setting leaders. So as a result, sometimes we see that there is a burnout, and the employees or the team is not comfortable. Examples, again, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. They are considered to be the pace setting leaders. Characteristics, high performance expectations. They lead by example. As we saw that they set high performance standards for themselves. So high performance expectations, lead by example, and strong emphasis on results, because this urge to achieve results is sometimes it can disturb the followers and team. Well, that has been discussed, or that has been mentioned by Goldman et al. 2013, and it's about unleashing the power of emotional intelligence, and it's a Harvard Business Review Press 2013. Next, please. Democratic. Well, this is very popular, in which this is a leadership style in which the leader always gives importance to the feedback of the team. And based on that feedback, he or she takes the decision in order to improve the functioning of the projects. It's a kind of leadership approach where the leader involves team members in the decision-making process, encouraging open communication and seeking consensus on important matters. For example, we have New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, Nelson Mandela, and this is appropriate for all the projects. Characteristics: high performance expectations, lead by example, strong emphasis on results. So it's a UCL 2013 reference can be seen here. Next, please. Yes. Now we are heading towards how the project leadership guides and motivates the team towards success. We all know that when a team is formed, there are certain disputes. We see disagreements. We see some heartburning, and sometimes the team member feels alienated and isolated in the group. So the first stage of the team management is when the team is formed, it's a forming, and then it's storming. Storming means there is a brainstorming, until or unless they agree on a certain goals, certain milestones. There is a storming, and the third stage is norming, means the normal phase in the team management. When after a storming, when all are agreed on certain set of goals and milestones, then we can see that the team has started performing. And once the team starts performing, the achievement of the goal or the completion of the project is not far. And once the project is completed or the task is completed, the team is adjourned. Because in project leadership, we have a definite beginning and definite end. Next, please. So what are the technical competencies for project leadership? What a project leader should have that he can actually leads the team or guides the team towards success. First of all, he needs to have a deep understanding of project management methodologies, whether it is agile, it is waterfall, it is scrum, it's lean. These are project management methodologies. He or she needs to have a comprehensive understanding of project life cycle management, like from designing and planning to the completion. Risk management is the ability that is of paramount importance. Without understanding the risk assessment or risk management, a leader can actually ruin the project. Because we have been discussing previously here on this platform that in Pakistan we waste almost 800 billion rupees annually because of the cost overrun. So why risk management is essential? uh, for a project management to understand, because he can see that what are the obstacles, political, economical, that can actually impede your project and that can delay your project. Financial management, again, it's very, very important, because this is the management which also involves risk management, because we are budgeting and we are going to allocate our resources for the project activities. If these are not carefully done, then the project can be extremely costly and ultimately can be a failure. Ability to use project management tools like PERT, that is Project Evaluation and Review Technique, CPM, Critical Path Method. Critical Path method is a sequence of activities in which if one activity which is important, if it gets delayed, then it has the potential to delay the entire project. Again, it's a P6, it's a Primavera P6, that is the risk evaluation software. It's very, very, very good software, because if you provide the accurate data, then it can give you 100% or close to that assessment of factors that can actually uh, uh, delay your project. Again, there is another software, At Risk, very good. It gives you simulation, which gives you complete picture of when and where the project can suffer the obstacles or the problems. Next, please. A project manager, a project leader must have interpersonal skills and intelligence and emotional intelligence. Why? Because communication, conflict resolution, negotiation for managing disagreement, ensuring fair distribution of resources, and harmonious relationship. Emotional intelligence skills such as empathy, motivation, and social skills, they are extremely important, because unless you have a sympathy, empathy for the team will not be responding to you. You will not be commanding the respect. Cultural intelligence, that is something new. I saw it in Vodafone Australia, and the caller, the representative who actually answers the calls from the customers, and I felt a very pleasant feeling when he asked me about that, how is Karachi, how cold is Islamabad. Remember that I am in Australia, and the caller, he is asking me about Karachi and Islamabad, because he knew that I am from Pakistan. And when I asked him that how come you know about these two cities, and very very specifically that what happens there, and he told me that actually Vodafone was imparting them the training in which they mostly focused on Asian countries like Pakistan, India, because the Indians are they are everywhere in Australia. Pakistan have good number of presence in Australia too. So that's a cultural intelligence in which you are trained to understand the cultural peculiarities and cultural sensitivities of the person you come across. Next, please. Strategic thinking for project leadership. Strategic thinking is something that it means that you see a bigger picture. You align your small project with the organizational goals. Because ideally, every project or every activity should be linked with your organizational goals. So it's a strategic thinking that actually a project leader should have. So it's an ability, as I told you, to see the big picture. It enables project leaders to guide teams with clear sense of direction and purpose, because he knows that what aligns with the organizational goal. He is aware of this thing. Decision making ability in complex and uncertain situations. We all know that unfortunately we are uh, in a country where we more often experience uncertainty and complex situations, because situation changes overnight. Today, if something comes in 100 rupees, the next morning you will find that it comes in 200 rupees. So there are uncertain aspects in that, and the complex one. Such a leader, he facilitates team and group decision making and participation. Remember, we discussed the democratic and transformational leadership, in which we saw these aspects. And such a leader, they facilitate team and invite feedback and input from the field, so that a decision can be taken. Next, please. Yes, these are the real world lesson learned, and it was summarized by the conceptual role of leadership in project management. These four gentlemen, these four researchers, they did a wonderful research, and they have given some real world lesson learned. They recommend that adaptability is the key. A leader must be in a position to adapt himself without compromising his emotional intelligence. So, effective communication, again, it also leads us to think that effective communication can only be possible if you value the input and feedback of your team. Leadership for soft skills, people's management. Again, transformational, democratic, and servant leadership. That they are all they give more importance to soft skills like people's management. Risk and change management are crucial. In Pakistan, every project is fraught with the risks. Initially, there are issues. If issues are not solved, then they become risk. So, risk and change management are critical for project leader. Learning and development are ongoing. We, I have hardly seen that learning and development uh, in a project management in public sector organization. Frankly, I haven't seen it. That uh, some lesson learned are recorded, some mistakes are recorded, and what experienced by the leaders in managing the projects, they were recorded, or any professional register in which these experiences are recorded. Unfortunately, I haven't seen that. So these are absolutely necessary, and you will see that almost in every project we need these things that have been experienced in projects. Next. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for a very interesting talk. I was just wondering, some people say that Hitler was a transformational leader because he convinced so many people to do what he wanted, and he was very charismatic as well. What are your views on this?
Well, in my opinion, I think he was not transformational. Why? Because uh, we all know that it was basically the Treaty of Versailles, in which the way Germany was humiliated and treated, uh, and then there was an anger in the German people, and they felt isolated and humiliated by the Western powers, by the allies. So the situation was ripe. He used uh, the miseries of the people, and he used the humiliation of the people, and finally he was not interested in transformation. He was interested in revenge, and that was the very powerful motivating factor that actually induced German people to answer his call for this, because we always see that he was more interested in war machinery, and he developed industry only to produce more weapons. So transformation means which is done something for the betterment of the people. And moreover, transformation, as we see, the transformational leader, he values the feedback and input from the followers and the team.
He's a good motivator as well. A
It was
transformational leader would be.
circumstances. Basically, he used the circumstances. He can best be a situational, but in negative terms.
Even a transformational in a negative turn.
Transformation not for the benefit of the
I
people.
mean, for the white people, he was the fair-skinned and blue-eyed people. He was doing his what he thought was best, or what he thought they would follow. So
He
in a
knew that
very negative
yes,
sense,
yes.
but because a lot of historians also call him a transformational leader, but a dangerous transformational leader.
Well, the characteristics we just saw on the right side of the slide. I don't think that any of these characteristics can be found in Hitler, because we don't see that he has empathy. We didn't see that. He exhumed was a revenge. He was smoldering with the revenge,
That's true.
right? And he was a warmonger, basically, if I'm not wrong. Because and you would be it will be very difficult to find even a single step that he has taken for the betterment of the people. All he did was to build a war machinery, and he used the brilliant minds of German nation just to make more weapons. And perhaps that was the result. That was the uh, outcome of his downfall. And when he attacked Russia without understanding, without taking feedback or input from his followers, he attacked Russia, and that was his doom, actually.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Hussein Amin, working in the development sector in Islamabad. First of all, thank you so much for these sessions in the black hole around project management and stuff. I have a few questions for you, so I hope
Ji, zarur.
you will address that. First of all, there is a difference between a leader and a manager, right?
a manager can be a leader, and a leader can be a manager. Well, a manager in strict terms, he is using the skills. Like if someone is trained in planning, like we see that there are subject matters like urban planning, regional planning, rural planning, and urban design. And then we see someone is qualified in quality management. Someone is uh, is proficient in schedule management, time management, cost management. So these are skills.
They say you manage tasks and you lead.
Absolutely. So if a leader, basically he uses his leadership skills, which are not the technical, not the hard skills. He uses people's management, people's skills, soft skills to motivate his team and his followers.
Okay, thank you. There is another question. When we are working in team, there are some people who are over efficient, who comply with everything and perform their task on time. However, there on the other side, there are some team members who are slow and their performance causes dent to the to achieve the deliverables. So if someone is sort of workaholic, and if he or she wants, or the project manager wants that the deliverables are met in due time, and if the project manager does her or his work, is it a good approach?
Uh, when a project is designed, the the project manager is allowed to form his team, and he carefully selects the team in which the people are of certain professions. Some of them are very good financial managers, some are good mathematicians, some are architects, some are civil engineers. So all these people, they form a team for the team manager, right? Now if someone is not performing, we saw that there was a management, there was a leadership style that uses reward and punishment. Sometimes as we all know that sometimes माँ का थप्पड़ जो है वो बेहतरीन मोटिवेशन होता है बच्चे के लिए, ठीक है? तो it depends on the nature of the project. If a project manager thinks, or the project leader thinks, that that's such worker or the team member is not performing uh, to his potential, then he is removed, right? Only a leader, sometimes if the project nature allows, only then he can he will motivate him, he will counsel him, and if necessary he will send him on the training so that certain skills that he's lacking, he can be good at it. Right.
Okay, thank you. And the last one, it's on a lighter note as well. Like project manager is even accountable for if a project team member does something wrong. So isn't it a very thankless job?
We a project comes with the money. Please mind it. What you are doing, what you are performing, you are paid for that, right? So if there is a charity organization in which uh, uh, there is voluntary work, and uh, the member or the team is not paid, then the project manager can take a risk in motivating him, in guiding him, in counseling him. But if there is a money and the team is paid, then the team member is bound to give 100% for which he is being paid. So I think the team manager will be accountable for the actions of his team, because he is the one who has selected the team. So that naturally he should be accountable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great session, Baba. Reading all the slides, I only had one question in mind, which was, which leadership style do you think is the most beneficial for social projects, apart from servant projects, servant leadership style, of course?
I think transformational leadership style is the best one, because as we discussed that he has an element of empathy. He feels the pain of others, right? So such a leader can transform the team, the situation, or if the project is, if there is a social project like the BISP or the Betul Mal or the something, several projects are running in Punjab, Sindh, for the uplifting of marginalized class. So if a transformational leader thinks that and he feels the pain of these poor of the poor segment, then the change is inevitable.
Sir, I want to know how can we relate intuition to leadership? Role of intuition, because a leader can see a hidden qualities in someone. So how can we
Well,
decide that?
it was a time when we used to think that leader can only be born, and it's a God gifted quality. But then we saw that with the advancement of training and education, a leader can be made. A manager can be made, right? So we, you know that today leaders, there is a PhD. You can do PhD in leadership, in management. So with proper understanding, with proper training, with proper experience, one can definitely be a leader. Because we have seen that you are, as the Plato says, that man is the product of his environment, and we have seen that in the USA, it was a time that the black population was not up to the level of the white ones. But then we saw that the situation changed, and now even America saw a black president. Even now that presidential candidate, she is from the colors.
Yeah.
So
South Asian and black.
yes.
A follow-up question to the gentleman's question. In your opinion, do you think that an autocratic leader can be taught or can learn to become a transformational leader?
Yes, definitely. We actually,
would it be really tough, or
there are certain personality traits. We see that someone is introvert, someone is extrovert, and there are various tools that can actually assess your personality, right? And this is the reason we have a full-fledged faculty of psychoanalysis. We got psychiatrists, psychologists. They actually are here to help us, that if someone is experiencing negative tendencies, that so that these can be cured. But I believe that it is your environment in which even an autocratic leader can be a transformational leader. We in Australia, we were given to see that what went wrong when Steve Smith, he resorted to ball tampering and actually involved another person, so that uh, the outcome of the game can be changed, right? We found a very interesting. We will discuss someday, but we found that Steve Smith was an introvert. He he w- he was not that much comfortable in the crowd as the Ricky Ponting was, or as the Michelle Stark was. So when he saw that the defeat in the match can cost him his position in the, so out of frustration he resorted to, and we all know that how strict are the rules in Cricket Australia for ball tampering and any misconduct. But even then, he did it, and we saw uh, that we found some negative tendencies in him, and interestingly, he later on he admitted these things, and uh, I think I read somewhere that then he saw a doctor and discussed with him that why this happened. And the Cricket Australia conducted a full-fledged inquiry in this incident to find out what actually went wrong. And then we saw that the same Steve Smith, he did a wonderful job for the Australia. And he appeared to be a very friendly with the teammates, and he was seen enjoying the victory moments, and we saw that Australia won 2 World Cups then after that. So there is a possibility that even the autocratic leader can be a transformational, or even the transformational sometimes can be an autocratic. It's all depends on the circumstances and the environment. That's right.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. This is Daniel. Sir, can you please tell us about your own leadership style with relevance to your vast experience at the organizations you have served, and specifically your time at FBR as chief of projects? That would give us some.
In fact, I was expecting this question.
Right.
Believe me, and I was thinking about that. Yes, yeah, and you know that even today, I had a meeting with a department which has been abolished, unfortunately. I won't take the name because so, and I'm doing a project in Islamabad, which was unfortunately significantly delayed. And when I assumed the charge of a chief project, it was already delayed for 3 years. And its completion date was in 2019. And when I came in 2023, only 35% work was completed. And I had everything in mind that I'm a very good project manager. I can fix the things, I can make the changes. But believe me, when in reality, I was perspired from top to toe when I dealt with these guys. You know, your contractor, he's not trained on the project management lines. He will not give you the progress report on Gantt chart. He doesn't know that how the activity is defined, how the activity is is given code name and what is the work breakdown structure with the codes. He doesn't know that. And so is the condition of that department, which has recently been abolished. And believe me, I sometimes I lose my patience. I then I'm thinking that I mixed all the project leadership styles that can be used to complete the project. It's so frustrating in an environment in which the project management processes and frameworks are not in place, and it's very difficult to run the project. Believe me. So uh, but there are certain projects. We we did 4 projects in public-private partnerships, and these were going smoothly as and according to the plan, as we designed, as we planned. But later on, some decisions were taken at the top, and we had to stop. But then these projects were going smoothly, no hurdle, uh, because we hired a private consultant, and they were very good. They completed all the timelines that were agreed at the time of the initiation of the project. And again, when I was there was a tax administrative reform projects in which we had a consultant from another very reputed firm, and we completed 200 projects almost on time, in time and in budget. So again, as I told you, it's the organizational culture and the environment which can uh, uh, gives you a thinking to which project style is necessary. So sometimes you have to fight with them. You lose your temper. Then all the then all the transformational leadership is gone. Even not the autocratic is the meaningful in that scenario. You know what happens? Like, I read somewhere that your organizational culture is not just words on your website. It is basically how your employees feel on Sunday night. So unfortunately, we all know that what we feel on Sunday night. It is so.
Hello. A very quick question, sir. Can anyone be a leader, or it's a DNA perfection, inherited kind of thing?
We just discussed that it was it was considered uh, some 50 years ago that leader is born, administrator is born, but now a leader or administrator, even the manager, can be made. There are qualities. There are your personality is something which depends on the socialization, the environment of our house, the environment of our school, the environment in which we have friends. So all these factors contribute in shaping your personality. So you can be introvert, you can be extrovert, or you can be mix of them. But I firmly believe that with proper training, a leader can be made. Yes.
Sir, one more thing, leadership style should be, I think it's situational, because क्योंकि जितने भी आपके आपका जो प्रेजेंटेशन था उसमें डिफरेंट नेम्स थे लोगों के एग्जांपल के लिहाज से, तो उसमें से बहुत सारे लोग बिजनेसमैन थे. सो इट मीन्स कि
वो मैंने
एवरी
जानबूझ के दिए थे.
हाँ हाँ, तो इट मीन्स कि एवरी लीडरशिप स्टाइल इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
यस, एब्सोल्युटली. मैंने देखे, अब मैंने यही तो आपको बताया कि कुछ एडवांटेजेस हैं, कुछ डिसएडवांटेजेस. इवन आपकी जो सर्वेंट लीडरशिप है उसके भी डिसएडवांटेजेस है। उसमें आप क्विक डिसीजन मेकिंग नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि आपने फीडबैक लेना है लोगों का। अब अगर फर्ज करें कोई फीडबैक ऐसा आ जाता है जो बहुत बेहतर होता है लेकिन क्लैश करता है आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या आपके प्रोजेक्ट के साथ, तो देन यू विल नीड टू गो फॉर द चेंज मैनेजमेंट। तो उसमें आपकी जो डिसीजन मेकिंग है इट कैन बी अ डिफिकल्ट। तो उसमें तो देखें एडवांटेजेस अगेन इट्स, आपकी बात में बिल्कुल एग्री करता हूं कि जो सिचुएशन है ना वो आपको हेल्प करती है कि जिसमें आपने डिसीजन कौन सा लेना है।
Another question, if
Ji,
you
ma'am.
don't mind. You mentioned that you, I believe, wrote your thesis or wrote a paper on servant leadership, or
Yes.
researched a lot
Yes.
on servant leadership. So, is there research on this, or does this happen that the team takes advantage of the servant leader, because the servant leader is very pro team? So do they tend to take advantage of the leader?
It has been seen that teams sometimes they take undue advantage of the but again if we see the characteristics of servant leadership, he is a visionary, right? And uh, he takes the decision based on team. And if there is a team that where each and every member of the team is taking undue advantage, then the leadership is failure, right? If there is one or two, then these members can be sorted out. So-